Yaps. It's in the name. Um, but what am I gonna do about it? Like, fuck. So apparently Trump, the art of the deal, he changed the India trade deal before the ink was able to dry.
Slightly in India's favor.
It's not 2 times on our side in the United States, not
The
yet.
US released a fact sheet and then changed it. India commits to India intents. So the joint statement between India and the US, which was put out by the Indian government, said that India intends to purchase $500 billion of US products within a certain time frame.
Hell yeah.
And the American statement said that India has committed to purchasing that. So that's a pressure tactic. That's by putting this falsehood out in public, the intention was to then make India post facto accept this change. So India has stood firm, and now the Americans have changed it back to India intents instead of India commits. Pulses clause. The Americans had introduced some pulses clause that was never agreed upon.
That's as loud as
Data
I can get.
security tax, etc. All those things. So yeah, the Americans have tried all these backhanded maneuvers and all these pressure tactics and all these underhand tactics, all these arm twisting maneuvers and methods.
This is true, but y'all do it too. Everybody in business does this. That is just the game of business. Does not own a monopoly of doing dirty business. Everybody does dirty business, especially at the high end. Everyone's trying to get a little margin here, a little percentage there, and yeah, that's not just Uncle Sam.
So let's understand one thing very clearly, my friends. This
Okay, my
trade
friend.
deal, it's an interim framework for it's a framework for an interim trade deal. So an interim trade deal is not a final trade deal. It's a temporary thing. And what has been announced is a framework for an interim trade deal. So it's not even a deal, it's just a framework. So understand this, any deal with the US is not worth the paper it is written on. Trump will go and change it tomorrow morning.
That's fair.
Trump will
I
walk
mean,
out of the
that's
deal if he
fair.
feels like.
I mean, I normally he and I kind of butt heads on this, but I'm gonna agree with them that yeah, that's pretty accurate here. Your agreement and contract is only as valid as much as you can enforce it. And if you can't enforce it, like how are you gonna enforce that against Trump? Like he'll just change it tomorrow.
Trump does that, doesn't he? Trump walked out recently of the deal he signed with South Korea. Trump in the past has walked away from a deal that was signed by the US with Iran, the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, in 2017 or whatever it was. The US habitually walks out of deals it has signed. So understand, I don't know why certain people are celebrating this trade deal with the US. Even politicians are celebrating it in certain political parties. There's nothing to celebrate here.
You definitely go into it though with the hopes that it will be followed through and it will be committed to. It's not like every single agreement America does we walk back, but we will change it.
This is a framework
And not
for a
everyone do we
temporary
change.
interim trade deal, which is not even the final thing. And this is a framework. And the moment the framework was announced, the Americans started, post facto changing it. So there is nothing to celebrate here. If things stand as they are okay. It's not a terribly bad deal for India.
It is a
It's
good
actually-
framework for the
it's,
deal.
in a variety of ways, better than the deals the Americans have given to their own allies. Okay.
And I think America's looking at India as a new ally, a new partnership for the future.
Let's not compare with Bangladesh for one or 2 points. Not important. And if you see the drill down into the points, you will see that there is no comparison at all. So overall, it's a decent thing. If it actually stands, then it's actually a good deal for India compared to what the Americans have given to their allies.
Yeah, now he's saying it. Now he's like, yeah, Uncle Sam, you gave us a good deal. I ain't mad at it.
It's obviously not an equal deal, but the Americans aren't treating anybody equally,
No.
right? So overall, it's good relative to everything else the Americans are doing. But once again, my word of caution is that no deal signed with the Americans is worth the paper it is signed on. The Americans will anytime.
It's good to satisfy Trump until he leaves the White House. Do you think don't you think the next guy is gonna be just another Trump and just kind of push his agenda? Whether it be JD Vance or Marco Rubio.
Any given point in time, if they feel like it, they will tear it up and walk away. So nothing to celebrate over here, as far as I see it.
There's nothing to celebrate, even though you just admitted that that framework is a good deal. Never trust the American establishment. It is for people to be. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that one. That's why you're going to retire Modi and make Yogi your PM? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Don't give too much importance to the U.S. Says a whole lot of BS and misinformation campaign run by this whole MAGA establishment. Uh-huh. We, India, need no trade deal with America. We are only 51 states of America already. India's future is with America, like it or not. I do agree with that.